morning. Welcome to the Community Voice. I'm Steve Graddick, your host. And we're here on a brand new Monday, and thank you for joining us. And you may think it's 8:30, but in my world, it's still 7:30. So it's going to take me a while to wake up, get going again. It's going to be a little bit chilly today, but that's okay. We can handle a day or two of coldness here in the great Southeast in the great state of Georgia. We're honored to have in studio today Mr. Keith Perry. He's VP and Manager of Government Guaranteed Lending from American Commerce Bank. Good morning, Keith.
Good morning.
Well, glad to have you with you.
Thank you.
Me. It's always good to look across the table and see a banker.
I appreciate the
I'm
opportunity
not
to be
sure what
here.
that means, so we'll just let that slide.
I'll certainly let that
go. We're here to mainly talk about a wonderful scholarship program, the Julian and Jan Hester Memorial Scholarship. And we definitely that's going to take the bulk of our time. But before we jump into that, and I think 4 scholarships available for high school students from the West Georgia area. Bring us up to date for those of us. I mean, there's been a little bit of a name change going on here. Bring us up to date for those that may not be familiar with American Commerce Bank, where it is and what's it all about.
Sure. We're located in Bremen. Originally, we were started as People's Community National Bank, and approximately 3 years ago, we changed our name to American Commerce Bank just to be more outstanding or to stand out a little better, as well as to distinguish ourselves from other banks. At the time, there were approximately 19 banks in the state of Georgia that had Peoples in their name. So we just wanted to distinguish ourselves a little bit and kind of get a fresh start with a new name. And that's when we changed our name to American Commerce Bank.
Can we glean anything from that name? Are you a little bit more business loan oriented, or just straight community up and down banking?
We're just a straight up community bank. We deal with small businesses as well as consumer, individual customers. We're there to help all in the local communities.
I didn't really start off by going over your lengthy intro or bio. Sometimes guests are like, okay, that's enough. But you've got over 25 years banking experience with primary lending experience, including FSA, SBA, USDA, government guaranteed lending, conventional commercial lending. So you've been really tied into, it says here, you originated and serviced over $60 million of government guaranteed loans.
That's right. I had the opportunity to work with lots of small businesses and business owners and help them to either start up or to purchase or grow and expand their businesses. And that's something that I enjoy doing, being able to help them accomplish their goals and their dreams.
It says you manage commercial portfolios in excess of $50 million. You know, we hear so much in the news about how, you know, our bank's lending again, quote unquote, and what's the lending environment? Because as you're kind of implying, it's important for businesses to get that initial capitalization. What is the lending environment now? Is it good, bad, lukewarm?
I would say it's a good environment. Obviously, there's some changes regulatory-wise that have impacted the bank lending environment, but from our standpoint, it's a good environment. We're very eager and looking to work with customers and help them, and we're utilizing those government guaranteed programs to have other opportunities to help more and more people, and those have different criteria and different features that might enable someone to do a project that a more conventional program might not enable them to do. So we utilize those programs so we can help even more people.
You know, sometimes we hear that cynical phrase, well, the only time the bank will lend you money is if you don't need it. How much truth is there to that?
Well, I would say there's truth in that an individual can obtain financing in a little bit easier format, but there's always opportunity to obtain financing when you need it, especially with small businesses, because as we recognize those are the drivers of your local communities.
Mm. You says here in your bio that you spent first 9 of your years in banking were spent on as a lender for the Farm Credit System. What is that?
That's a primarily agriculture-related lending cooperative that's actually nationwide, but it, as noted by the name, it is a kind of a narrow client base, agricultural businesses or your full-time farmers. So when I got the first opportunity I moved to a more conventional commercial bank and recognized the opportunity there to work with a lot more individuals and businesses.
Okay, before we go to break, and we're going to come back and talk about these wonderful scholarships after that, how would you define a community bank?
Community bank is one that's interwoven with the community, one that you have employees from that community, and then those employees will go to church in those communities, do business in those communities, have kids that play on the ball teams in those communities, as well as some of those employees or spouses coaching those teams. It's just simply another aspect of that community.
And they'll listen to community radio stations, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, our guest this morning is Keith Perry, VP, Manager of Government Guaranteed Lending for American Commerce Bank, headquartered in Bremen, Georgia, and I think you have branches in 2 other cities, correct?
That's right. We have a branch in Johns Creek as well as Tallahassee, Florida.
Johns Creek's over in Gwinnett.
Yes.
And okay, very good. All right, well, we'll be back with more with Keith after this word from our good friends at Tanner Health System.
Need help finding something healthy to eat? Tanner Health System has an app for that. Minuit helps you find healthy food options on the go. The smartphone app is powered by Tanner's Health experts, who teamed up with restaurants across West Georgia to make it easier for you to choose healthy food and eat better. Minuit acts like your personal nutrition assistant, showing you the healthiest items on the menu. So when you're not sure what's good to eat, Minuit. You can even use the app to look up recipes and plan healthy meals at home, and modify your options based on nutritional preferences, such as a low-sodium or vegetarian diet. Minuit and Tanner Health System, making it easier to eat healthy and live well. A healthier lifestyle is only a fingertip away. Minuit is free to download on your Apple or Android smartphone. You can download it today by searching Minuit in the App Store or on Google Play. Learn more about Minuit at gethealthylivewell.org.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Community Voice. I'm Steve Grady, your host, and we're getting to the meat of the program. How about that? All right. Keith Perry, Vice President, Manager of Government Guaranteed Lending for American Commerce Bank, headquartered in Bremen, Georgia. Being the only independent bank in our region, it's headquartered locally. Correct, sir?
That's right.
So we're proud to have you in studio this morning. Wonderful opportunity, and this is the main reason you're here, or because you have to be somewhere, I suppose. But anyway, you're here because of what's called the Julian and Jan Hester Memorial Scholarship, and we've got 4 very deserving young students that are potential winners of this $1,000 each scholarship. So let it rip. Tell us all about it.
Yes, excited to tell you about this opportunity for, as some would say, opportunity for some free money.
Free money. Yeah, okay.
As you mentioned, it's the Julian and Jan Hester Memorial Scholarship. This is a scholarship that's offered through the Community Bankers Association, and it's named after a longtime CBA Chief Executive, Julian Hester, as well as his late daughter, Jan. She was a senior at the University of Georgia when she passed away unexpectedly from an auto accident in 1990. And so this gives opportunity to recognize them as well as highlight community banking. As you mentioned, there will be 4 $1,000 scholarships awarded throughout the state of Georgia. It's open to Georgia high school seniors that will be entering a university, college, or technical institute in the state of Georgia in the fall of 2017. Each applicant must be sponsored by a community bank to apply for the scholarship, but that opportunity will be given to each of them, and then as noted, there will be 4 selected for the state. Part of the requirements are that they complete an application, provide qualification, background information related to their academic program, and then also they will complete an essay, and the essay is centered around what community banks mean to them. Gives us an opportunity to highlight community banking within the state and give them and their families opportunity to think about community banks and what they might mean locally.
Is this the first year of the scholarship?
No, the scholarship has been around for several years.
We're just doing it locally for the first time.
We're just highlighting it locally for the first time. Feel like it's something that could certainly be beneficial locally, and we want to highlight it and get the word out as much as possible.
When I was growing up, I hear about scholarships, my eyes would glaze over because, one, I was generally never eligible for them, but it just seems like, I don't know, for a young person, it just seems like an overwhelming task to enter into these kind of competitions. I mean, would you say that's true or not? Basically, it's a whole criteria of things that y'all will decide upon, correct?
There will be a few components of the application.
I guess what I want to ask is when it says it's based on merit, and you mentioned essay, and we got the different scores. Is there a panel of judges, or how does this come about?
Yes, what the process is, they will complete the application, which includes the essay and their activities during high school as well as their academic record. And then those will be submitted to local community bank, in our case, the American Commerce Bank, that will be the sponsor. And then we will screen those and forward those to the CBA. And from state level, CBA has a judging committee that's comprised of member bank and associate members that will review all the applications that come in and select the 4 winners at that time.
So this is done in association with the Community Bankers Association?
That's correct. The scholarship is offered. Community Bankers Association is a member-driven organization in the state of Georgia. It's governed by board of directors that are comprised from member community banks. It was created back in '69 to have a way to pool community bank resources, both from a educational standpoint as well as vendor and resource standpoint, and then also to give a legislative voice to community banks, both statewide and nationally. Would it be unfair to ask you to do you have a picture in your mind of what the ideal candidate would be for this scholarship? Gosh, you want to put me on the spot there. I would say, someone that obviously has a good academic record, but someone that's also done some activities outside of school, been involved in their community, either through some volunteer or charitable type organizations, possibly through their church. Someone that, like I say, is just a well-rounded person that's been involved with other things other than just their academic
well, the word here
steps.
is leadership, to show some signs of leadership in whatever realm they've participated.
Exactly. Someone that's demonstrated those skills when they've had the opportunity, both in their extracurricular activities related to school with organizations, clubs, as well as, like I say, with volunteer opportunities and church-related activities.
We hear oftentimes, and we all, I guess, as we get older, we too get a little bit cynical about the youth of America. But in doing this, you're really kind of asking the cream of the crop to come to the top and really point out their excellence. Correct?
That's right. We want to give them an opportunity to apply for this scholarship, but in doing so, be able to take the opportunity to recognize those that have excelled.
Let's talk a little bit about money. I mean, you are a banker after all, so it's $4,000, right?
That's correct. $1,000 scholarship awarded to 4 different individuals. Will be for their freshman year, entering this fall semester. Way process works, the scholarship funds will be paid from the CBA directly to the college, university, or technical institute to an account in that student's name, and be available to be applied toward tuition, books, or other expenses as they incur those expenses.
Now, and whether it's a university, college, or a technical institute, doesn't really matter. Or doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter as long as it's a
it's got to be in Georgia.
Got to be in Georgia, and it has to be at least a 2-year program.
That's the great state of Georgia, by the way. 2-year program. Okay, good. In this day and time, I mean, a little bit, $1,000 sounds like a lot, but then again, when you're talking about college funds, not as much. I mean, it costs a fortune these days to go to college, university, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. As father of 2 teenagers, something I deal with and familiar with myself personally. It is an expensive task right now, and continues to get more expensive each year as costs do tend to go up. But obviously, $1,000 is that much that that particular student wouldn't have to come up with, and opportunity also to possibly avoid or reduce having student loan debt to pay off at the end of their college career.
And it doesn't hurt the resume a bit to show that you got 1 or more scholarships going to school.
Absolutely. Could open up doors for other opportunities for that student.
It might save you from working part-time at a radio station.
It just might.
Yeah.
But we don't want to take that exciting opportunity away from too many students.
Exciting opportunity. There you go. That's where the next words out of my mouth. All right. And so if somebody wants to learn more, they need to contact you there in Bremen?
Yes, they can contact me directly at my office, 678-821-1578, or by email, kperry@americancommercebank.com. And then we can get them the appropriate information, application packet. We'll spell out what they need to complete for the application, and go from there.
Yeah, like everything, I suppose this has a deadline too.
Absolutely, got to have a deadline so that we ensure we get the applications in.
So what is the deadline?
Deadline is Friday, April the 3rd.
April the 3rd. Okay. And now, we've got to write, or the applicants have to write this essay. Any guidelines on that? How long, et cetera?
Yes, we've got some general guidelines that are in the application package. That,
we've got an application package.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
It's just a few pages that spell out, the criteria and
that doesn't look too bad.
What information is needed, and then they'll provide it back to the bank, because as noted, the local community banks sponsor these applications to the CBA, and then CBA will do the final judging on those.
Okay, if you got any kind of question for Keith, 678-601-TALK, 678-601-8255, and we're going to take a break. We'll come back more and talk about banking and the Julian and Jan Hester Memorial Scholarship with Keith Perry, VP at American Commerce Bank, after this word from Tanner Health System.
In sports, when you play to win, you get your game on. Shouldn't the same be true when it comes to your health? At Tanner Health System, we're going to help you get your healthy on. Tanner is leading the way for you to eat better, get fit, manage or prevent diabetes, and live tobacco-free, so you and your family can get your healthy on every day. It all starts at gethealthylivewell.org. Check out upcoming healthy living events and join others in the community taking action to live well every day. GetHealthyLiveWell.org. Tanner Health System's way of helping you get your healthy on.
Need motivation and support to eat healthier, become more physically active, or quit tobacco? Tanner offers free classes to help you get your healthy on. Register today by calling 770-214-CARE. That's 770-214-CARE. Learn more at gethealthylivewell.org.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Community Voice. I'm Steve Graddick, your host. Delighted to have you with us, and we'd like to welcome our Facebook audience, Facebook Live audience. We have in studio Keith Perry, Vice President and Manager of Government Guaranteed Lending for American Commerce Bank, and which is headquartered in Bremen. It's the area's only independent bank in our region. We've been talking about the Julian and Jan Hester Memorial Scholarship, where 4 local students will benefit from a $1,000 scholarship each. It's what? Free money, as they say. Yeah, right. I have a problem with that term, so I keep saying it, and eventually you'll absorb with it. And you can contact Keith at the bank for more info. But apparently all the local schools the counselors have this information too.
Yes, appreciate you bringing that up. We do provide that information to each of the area high schools through the counselor's office. They have that information available, and they've been very good to promote this and help get the word out to their students at each of their schools, and we appreciate their help in promoting this and making all their students aware of it and giving them the opportunity to apply for it.
When dealing with something like this, can you give us maybe some encouraging words? There are actually a lot of very wonderful students out there that are working hard, that are really diligent in their studies and really trying to excel and achieve. Yes,
I mean, this certainly will give them an opportunity to be rewarded for their hard work and community involvement and activity involvement by possibly receiving a $1,000 scholarship to help toward their cost to get started in college this fall.
What kind of interest have you had so far?
We've had a good bit of interest and have already received several applications, so we're off to a good start and just hope to receive several more. I expect a lot of good qualified applications in this area.
So you've got 4 this year. Any thoughts of expanding it next year or a year after?
The CPA so far has felt like that this is a good number for a continual project. We've on an annual basis do give the 4 scholarships. However, we are looking at as a local bank, American Commerce Bank. We're looking to possibly add some local funding, but right now it's just the $1,000 4 scholarships through CBA.
Well, that can make the difference between a kid staying in school or what kind of struggles they have, et cetera, or because it's not just the kid, it's the family also that's impacted by these kind of bills.
Exactly, that's right. It can make the difference, depending on their family financial situation.
Do they get any kind of break if they go to Georgia Tech?
No, sir. I believe they actually charge a little bit more if they go there.
I want to issue a protest right there. So that's my protest. Tell us about, what kind of career paths are there for young people in terms of considering banking as a profession? Would you recommend it or not? Or if so, how would they prepare themselves?
I would recommend it. I think there's some very good opportunities for students, both in community banks on the banking side as far as lending money, as well as on the customer service side, deposit side. There's several opportunities within banks, both as lenders, branch managers, credit analysts, portfolio managers. There's several opportunities. Primarily, the best way is to, as far as getting in the door, so to speak, is to get a college degree in a business-related field, and then if there's opportunity to work part-time, either as customer service rep or a teller, those type of positions on the front end, and kind of get their feet wet and get familiar with the overall banking concept. I think there's then opportunities down the road for more advanced positions.
Now you're a graduate of, it says here, the Georgia Banking School, and you have a BBA in finance. So any type of economically related degree is business degree, degree in economics, banking, whatever. All those things apply, right?
That's correct. And also another field that wouldn't have to be specifically banking or business, that obviously becomes more and more important, is technology. We do have a technology department, and opportunities are there for students that looking to get into a field that obviously is growing as there's more and more demand for technology, and we want things as individuals. We want things instantaneous. So the use of technology is something that will certainly be here for a long time.
There's probably an analogy between local community radio and corporate radio and community banks and what Clark Howard calls the monster mega banks, right?
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Okay. Well, I can relate to that.
We can relate. There's certainly a difference in the customer service level. There's a difference in the performance level, and then there's also a difference in their interaction with the local communities where they're based.
Very well said. And putting customer service first. I like that.
Absolutely.
So that's good. Okay. Free money. Julian and Jan Hester Memorial Scholarship. $1,000 free money, right?
That's
To
right.
four deserving students based upon merit, which is a great word, nice little 5-letter word. And how should they go about, again, contacting you or the school counselor and learning more?
Right. They can certainly contact their school counselors who will have this information available, but they can also contact me at the bank. They can contact me by email at kperry@americancommercebank.com. And then they could also call. My direct number is 678-821-1578.
And the deadline is?
April 3rd, Friday, April
3rd.
3rd.
All right, good deal. I guess this is probably one of your more enjoyable parts of your job, is to deal with something like this.
Absolutely. I've been excited about the opportunity to work with this scholarship program, and it's always good to help a young person be able to further their college career, or at least get it off to a good start by having some free money to help pay for those expenses.
I really am so tempted to challenge you on that. I mean, is there anything really that you can? Is there really free money? Does it really exist? In this case, maybe it does.
It does. Outside of a little bit of effort putting together some information and putting their thoughts down on paper in an essay. Outside of that, no cost.
But again, it's based upon merit, and we're looking for students that are willing to achieve and to exhibit leadership in whatever positions, activities, honors they have in the local community, and understand what a community bank is.
That's right. Gives us opportunity to highlight what they've accomplished, and then in turn they highlight the community banks that are out in the various communities, so that people will see what the community bank is and does and how they interact with their community.
Keith Perry, our guest this morning. We're very grateful to Keith, and we salute American Commerce Bank for their work here with the Julian and Jan Hester Memorial Scholarships. We thank you for listening, and tune in again tomorrow to the Community Voice here on WLBB Carrollton.